A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
This is the Daredevil series, only on Turn 200. Welcome to the track they call the Monster Mile for the first time in series history. Welcome to Dover Motor Speedway in Dover, Delaware. It's Tommy Cook, it's Matt Williamson. It's round number 9 of the 6th season. It's the funny number, and we're here at a not-so-funny venue. Matt, this track will reach out and take a bite if it so pleases.
Yeah, I mean, it's called the Monster Mile for a reason here, no doubt about it. Yeah, Miles will come up and grab you, especially I think the setup today will be a little bit loose, especially as you kind of roll along, more laps on the tires. There's really no reprieve or cooling down the tires at a track like this, so I think you're going to have to be able to manage that throughout the race here tonight.
I think no reprieve is a good theme for the night, and it's a good theme for the points as well, although it might not be, because one thing that we haven't mentioned up to this point is there is, since we have 13 races this season, a drop race, and it is now factored in to the equation. So things, although we've only had 8 drivers that have actually run every race this season, it has moved the numbers around a little bit, but still, things pretty comfortable at the top of the heap.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, James Watson has been out front pretty much all season here, and still an entire race out in front of Matt Schlosser currently. Brody Gunter sits there in 3rd. Christopher Hill in 4th. Dakota DeMade sits in 5th currently. Kyle Allen, Joshua Rutherford, who I don't believe is going to be here tonight, so he'll lose potentially quite a few positions, although the driver that is right behind him in points I don't believe is here either. So, in fact, I'm not sure any of those 4 drivers at the end of the list are here. So, yeah, there will be points to be made up here tonight for some drivers, that's for sure.
And certainly our woes in the car count department continue. Only 11 drivers on the grid as of now. Hopefully in the next 2 minutes or so, somebody else will show up. But as of now, only 11 drivers are going to come and give it a shot. Sounds like Christopher Kresge is running a little bit behind this evening. Not going to be able to make it unless he can heroically enter at the last second. And like you mentioned a minute ago, Joshua Rutherford, hanging out at the concert, seeing all-time low tonight, if I remember correctly. So hopefully he's having a great time, and we'll look forward to seeing him back next week at Bristol. Yeah, no kidding. If only they would have been there a week earlier.
Yeah, new album's fire.
Well, we got a couple minutes to kill. I will say qualifying is going to be quite important this evening. And there's no driver that realizes that more than the winningest, pole-sittingest driver in all of Daredevil. That is Dakota DeMade, and what a surprise. He's at the top of the board again. So, I mean, passing going to be a premium. This is, the RL IndyCar Series ran, I believe, in their inaugural season here. The chief complaint was that the cars were too powerful to be able to make passes. I think we've taken care of the power element, but still, it's going to be kind of packed up. It's still going to be difficult to pass, even with as hot as it is, even as loose as this car can get. Passing is still going to be a premium this evening. It's tough to get it done around the middle and top side, especially the top. That's just the concrete. That's a no-go on the top side.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult here tonight. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we've kind of alluded to it already. I think the further you get into the run, you might have a little bit of a better chance of maybe there just being some skill gap in there, I guess you could say, that you can try and use to your advantage a little bit. Track position will be very, very important here tonight. And, of course, Dakota DeMade, he is the man with the best track position going into the evening. This is also a racetrack very narrow and banked all the way around. There's banking on the straightaways, quite a bit of it as well. So, I mean, if an incident occurs, it is very, very difficult to stay out of everybody's way and avoid any incidents. So it's going to be very important to take care of yourself here tonight.
A reminder to all content creators, check your spelling before you send things out. Dakota DeMade's name on the bottom ticker is J. Ducat. Congratulations to him on a French-sounding nickname. All right, and it is Jay Ducat, the Cornfield Kid himself, with a Daredevil Series record 5th pole of the season. Never been done before. Hard to believe it'll ever be done again. So Dakota DeMay will lead the field of green. Christopher Hill, the winner last time out at Pocono, will be on his outside. James Watson and Brody Gunter on row number 2. It's Kyle Allen and Paul Ellison on row 3. Kyle Zittel, the decent one, is here for the first time this season. He'll line up in 7th to the inside of Corey Rutherford. It is Victor Aldridge, Matt Schlosser, and Joshua Matacek, the 11 drivers who are going to get after it here this evening at Dover. It's a hot one out in the shores of Delaware. Mr. Matt Williamson, what do we got for race notes?
Yeah, let's take a look at the weather first of all here. 104 degrees is the track temperature right now, so I mean, not super warm. We've certainly seen warmer, but it's also a concrete surface. So, that track temperature is going to be exacerbated here on a concrete surface, no doubt about it. 87 degrees is the ambient temperature. That's pretty warm. I wouldn't be surprised to see the track temperature potentially raised throughout the evening here in the proceedings. We have 100 laps around Dover here tonight. Of course, no fast repairs as always. Our fuel number is pretty much right in the middle. I mean, I think they can make it 50 laps, basically. I know at Gateway a few weeks ago, the drivers were basically saying there's pretty much no fuel save here. So if they're going to be any little bit short, it might be a splash of fuel towards the end if we can stay green this whole time. But we will have to see how that plays out. I'm not so sure we will have an all-green flag running race here tonight, but they have surprised us before. So looking forward to the proceedings here tonight. 11 drivers, they're going to look to get after it here. Might be a little bit slow going at first while everybody gets their bearings, and then it's going to be time to get after it.
Definitely the driver's instructed to be patient here this evening, as even with a small count there on the track, things could stack up here very quickly with one ill-placed wheel. Dakota DeMade, Christopher Hill. The Daredevils are on the move at Dover. Into turn one, Hill going to fight all the way around the tippy top.
Oh, man, he got pretty close to the wall on the exit there.
Flirting with the wall. And they go side by side for the full lap. Advantage at the stripe. Give it to Hill by a whisker, just like it was at Pocono. Front four side by side. A little bit of space from fifth on back. That will change quickly as Kyle Allen and Kyle Zittel get a little bit brave. Hill trying to get it clear on the top side. It's so tough to be able to pull this pass off, though.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be even if you run it perfectly, I mean, it's very hard to get a nose out in front here. Hill has a nose barely out in front, but certainly not going to be enough to get clear. I think as we progress in this race, you're going to have to try and potentially squeeze your competitor down on the racetrack, but might be a little bit too dangerous this early on in the race. So they're going to let it fly for right now, and might keep some ideas like that for maybe further on in this one after a pit stop.
That was as close as Hill has gotten. That was rear wing in line with front wing over to Made. He continues to lead at the line. A little bit further back, Kyle Zittel rolled out of a potential topside three-wide situation with Allen and Schlosser. As Hill, just for the blink of an eye, is clear, but DeMade will come roaring back on the inside.
Matt Schlosser up quite a few positions here. He's looking to get a little bit of track position early here.
Oh, Hill is clear. 6 laps of work, and he will get down in front of the pole sitter. Now DeMade is back to third as Gunter will clear around the top side as well.
Yeah, interesting. It seems like the speed migrating towards the top right now as the tires start to get warmer. Carrying that momentum around the top side seems to be the play.
And we have talked in the past this season about the changes to this car made in our long offseason between seasons 5 and 6. One of those is right front tire wear is now more of a thing than it has been. Dakota DeMay could be being conscious of that. Trying to save a little bit of right front tire.
I mean, look at him. He is way up the hill. He is falling all the way off.
So he is gaming for something. We'll have to see what it is, but he falls all the way to the back of the field as we go single file here at Dover.
See how low these cars are to the ground. Some sparks flying off the back of James Watson's car as we're on board here with Victor Aldridge. Interesting that everybody went to the top to make the pass. DeMade fell back, and now everybody seems to be going back to the bottom again.
Schlosser running that middle and top. Last time around, clocked the purple lap. This time it's DeMade all the way at the tail of the field who will snipe the purple lap. A 20:44. That's 0.2 quicker than anybody else's personal best right now. I mean, Christopher Hill is pulling speeds of 170 through the middle and exit. Dakota DeMade at the speed trap here is going to be close to 190. He's going to be at 187. So it's a big speed difference. We're punching a big hole with these little cars. Now, the big concern is going to be, like we've alluded to multiple times, pit stops if we can get to that point. I mean, this is one of the tough pit road entries on the NASCAR circuit. Obviously, open-wheel cars don't race here for seemingly a good reason. The drivers sort of driver counseling themselves as a gentleman's agreement on how to get onto pit road. Nobody really seemed to have a great answer. The Daredevil series doesn't really enforce rules like that. So these drivers will be left to their own devices as to how they want to get onto pit road.
Here goes Matt Schlosser going underneath to try and make a pass on Aldrich, and he is able to make it happen. But, yeah, I mean, it comes up so quick on you if you're just going to try and pit off a turn 4. I think it's, nearly impossible to really get slowed up in time to make that happen, let alone, you're basically on the racing surface that entire time. So, if you are going to go that route, you're going to have to let everybody know and just hope they don't run you over, basically. Your other options are to go in the middle of turns 3 and 4, although this car doesn't really like transitioning off of banking all that well, so that is tough also. If you're pitting, more at the end of the backstretch and just going to go on the flat all the way around turns 3 and 4, it's a lot, really very bumpy there as well. There honestly is just not a great solution, and honestly, I think that's why nobody really wanted to speak up prior to the race and say this is how it needs to be done, because I don't think there really is a great way for it to be done.
No, these cars very touchy on the flat, not just here, but anywhere. And like you said, it's very bumpy down there in the charcoal gray off the racing surface. And pit road speed is 35 miles an hour, as Schlosser is really trying to get after it here on the top side.
Yeah, he looked like he either touched the wall or nearly touched the wall, as Kyle Allen is going to jump out as well. And now we'll tuck back in front of James Watson.
Allen with a solid start to the day with 20 of 100 already complete in just 7 minutes. This race could be done in 35 minutes if it goes green to checker. Not saying it's going to, but it could be. It's going to click by in a hurry. That's why it's surprising to see Dakota DeMade drop to the back, 5 minutes into the race, and minute 17, pit stops should be starting if it goes green. I'm not so sure with what we're seeing right now. These drivers are getting antsy, and these cars are getting antsy. The rear tires are getting antsy. Things are heating up. Here's Schlosser with a dive. And he will uproot and bypass Kyle Allen, who's now going to be stuck on the top side.
It's interesting. Schlosser is utilizing both lanes and just trying to pick when he is able to get a run on one side or the other. This is great practice for him for later on in this race when he needs to try and make moves to really go for the win here. But, whoa, he gets pretty loose there off of turn 4. That was a pretty good save there from the 400.
And Schlosser's hole to drop back into is filled back up with Kyle Allen.
I'm not even sure he was looking. Yeah, I'm not even sure he was looking for the hole. I think he is out here trying to make some hay and figuring out what's going to stick for later on.
He's trying to chip away at it. That's Brody Gunter in second. Christopher Hill still leading. I'm not even sure Dakota DeMay got a lap in as the leader, despite winning the pole. That outside lane quickly proved to be the way to go in a 1v1.
Schlosser pulls even with Gunter here. Oh, it looked like Schlosser wanted to try and get down, but too small of a hole to try and fit it in that time.
And that is just kind of the way this car unloads out of the corners. It's very much the anti-iRacing super speedway. It almost feels like you hit a little speed hump out of 2 and 4 here. As you can see, just little wiggles from everybody there as they try and get themselves acclimated to the banking of the straightaways.
Yeah, I mean, Schlosser definitely looks more loose than the others running the top side here. Here comes another player in the top side game as well. That is Kyle Zittel, but quite a few rows back.
Kyle Zittel's done exactly one Daredevil race in every Turn 200 sanctioned season. Will this be the one, or will he go for two this year?
I don't know. We got some good ones coming up that are going to fit the taste of the oval driver there in Kyle Zittel.
You know, he has won in the Venom Truck Series at Bristol. That's where we're at next week.
That will be a sight to behold.
Do a little heat race in action next week on top of a 100-lap feature. Should be a good time. Schlosser is coming back here as Allen is trying to keep him pinned up to the top side. On about a quarter of a lane higher than the drivers in front of him. He's trying to put the squeeze on the 400.
This race is going incredibly quickly right now. I mean, we are maybe 5 minutes away from pit stops if we continue here.
Lap 33 on the board this time. Brody Gunter looking content to ride behind Christopher Hill as they battle for third behind him. Schlosser continuing little by little to try and eke out in front of Kyle Allen, current newcomer of the season leader. James Watson riding in fifth. It's funny. All three of the aforementioned drop races right now for Schlosser, Watson, and Gunter all came at Gateway, the oval.
That's not much of a surprise.
No. Ironically enough, Christopher Hill won that race, and Kyle Allen finished on the podium.
Will be interesting to see if these drivers are able to take anything learned here tonight and apply it to next week. I mean, there are some out there that just call Dover basically the twice the size but the same racetrack as Bristol almost. Bristol, of course, another concrete oval, but a half mile rather than a mile, but very similar in nature. Be curious if there's any takeaways from tonight that they'll be able to apply to next week.
We sure saw a lot of interesting racing at Bristol a couple of seasons ago. James Watson getting the win there.
Everything is single filed out again as Schlosser was able to find some room in behind Kyle Allen, and now he's going to take another dive to the inside. This is exactly how he made it happen the last time, and now James Watson is going to try and fill that hole. Oh, Watson down on the flat there for a moment.
That was sketchy.
Yeah, he had to corral it. Allen able to pull back into fourth here.
Here's Schlosser now to the inside of Gunter and puts his lefts down on the gray. Gunter will hang on for now, but Schlosser is not messing around.
Wondering if Schlosser is just really going for that track position here when he knows that pit stops are not very far away.
Yeah, just about 10 laps away from pit stops. Not much wiggle room in that fuel window either. You can make it to halfway, but not much further. That pretty well solidifies. Now, what they don't want to see is a caution on the first lap of pit stops. And I dare I say it's even likely.
Yeah, it really depends on if the incident is able to stay more down below the actual racing surface or not. Of course, there's not much room to work with, so that might be just about impossible to keep it off of the concrete.
And if everybody pits on the same lap, it's going to be a disaster anyway, I think. That's just a guess. Worth pointing out, Corey Rutherford in 8th clocked the purple lap last time around. So these drivers at the back still have plenty of speed, still have plenty of fight. Here goes Corey to the top side of Kyle Zittel. But nothing doing.
Yeah, I mean, as the fuel load gets lighter, the speeds continue to increase here. I mean, leader Christopher Hill just ran his personal best of the race as well.
Pit stops looming. It's going to get hectic here momentarily. Everybody clocking their personal fastest laps. These tires are hot. The fuel loads are light. And this track is not friendly.
Some movement further back. Kyle Zittel pulls up to the second lane again. Not able to get anything going.
Anybody try and make a move here? 5 laps away from pit stops at the front of this field. Schlosser lagging back a bit.
I mean, maybe even less. I would imagine. I was assuming that everybody was going to try and come in as early as possible, but with the threat of a caution, everybody may try and stay out as long as possible so they don't get caught a lap down here. Officially past the halfway mark.
We shall see. No calls over the radio or the text chat this time around. So I'm also leaning towards the run it out theory with 50 to go.
Victor Aldrich, Kyle Zittel, battle for 6th here. Oh, Zittel pretty close there. Trying to work some magic. Get a little tight to that car on the bottom.
Paul Ellison is coming in. We do hear some call-outs over the radio now.
Here comes leader Christopher Hill.
Hill bouncing there on the bottom of the track.
Wow.
Out, and he'll hang on to it. Hill is in.
I mean, that was nice, but he just about lost it. Hill, one of the best here. And he had to make a save, basically, to keep that down on the apron.
Here come more stops.
Oh, and Rutherford does spin it.
Oh, he puts the wing in the wall. Luckily, he's the only one there.
He tried to pit in the middle of 3 and 4. That did not work out too well. Here comes Schlosser.
Schlosser down on 3 as Brody Gunter gives up the lead to drop to the back of the field. Oh, Schlosser's flying it on there. And he did not make it. That is a pit road speeding violation for Matt Schlosser. Yeah, I think a lot of folks are going to be coming to pit road right now.
Oh, Brody's going to try and pit off a 4. So does Kyle Allen. Whoa, Gunter. I think he got it slowed down. That was an aggressive entry there.
Gunter makes it, so does Allen. And that leaves 4 drivers out on the track. Watson, Aldrich, Zittel, and DeMade. We'll see if they're all
Aldrich spins it. No caution.
He's off the track.
Everybody able to avoid.
Zittel spins as well.
Yeah, Kyle Zittel had to make an evasive maneuver and also spins it.
But clean entries relatively for Watson and DeMade. As Matt Schlosser going to throw in the towel for the night after the speeding penalty. So that will leave us with 9. And we'll see where everybody else with issues stack up.
Yeah, Gunter had an aggressive entry. Let's see how he comes out compared to Christopher Hill. Hill just now crossing start-finish. Gunter crosses that blue line.
I think Gunter is going to be comfortably in the lead, and Allen is going to be in second. We'll see where James Watson factors into this.
Yeah, so
Watson is exiting.
Obviously, staying out as long as possible seemed to pay off here.
Gunter going to be coming up quickly on the 39. And Gunter will make the pass as Watson's getting back up to speed.
Watson going to try and latch on here. But, oh man, it's going to be close. They've both left Kyle Allen and Christopher Hill behind. And I do think Watson is getting the toe from Gunter here at this point.
I think so. So it'll be these two at the front of the field. As long as Watson doesn't make a mistake, they will have Kyle Zittel coming up. Probably not anytime soon, but he is in front of them on the same straightaway as the leaders.
And Christopher Hill gets through on Kyle Allen, so Hill up to third, but over 2 seconds behind your top two here.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and pull some kind of rabbit out of the hat here. 2 seconds is too much to sniff the draft. You need to be relative, especially here, you need to be inside of a second, basically.
Watson going for the lead.
And there's also every chance that these two make contact like they have a couple of times this season and really open the door for everybody else to get back into it. Looking at the lap times, these top two are still faster than Hill, Allen, and DeMade.
Only by a couple 100ths, but they are quicker. But if Watson and Gunter start battling at all here, that could swing the other direction.
38 laps to go. Watching the lap times from third to fifth compared to your top two. And waiting to see how long Gunter can stay patient behind James Watson. Not very patient looking right now.
No, Gunter is continuously pulling to the outside. I think maybe just trying to figure out where he can get a run. If he's able to carry enough momentum around the top side to make a run into the next corner potentially.
Well, that second group is a little bit faster with Gunter doing that, but again, only a tenth at a time. There's still more than 2 seconds back. But for Gunter, he'll be bringing essentially a cohort of James Watson's into the fold. And also, you know, sorry, I've lost my train of thought as Brody's trying to get James Watson to work with him running the middle. I'm not quite sure about that. The real X factors, I think, is what I'm trying to say. Kyle Allen, Dakota DeMade also would be brought into the fold if Hill caught up.
I mean, they've put a little time in, but I mean, it wouldn't be enough at this point. They're still right at 2 seconds behind Brody Gunter.
Yeah, they're just flip-flopping laps back and forth. It's come down, but like you said, not enough. They need to make up another full second and some change if they really want to rally. Much like the rally that was put on Brody Gunter at Pocono 2 weeks ago. So Matt Schlosser with an issue out of the race. So Brody Gunther should pick second back up in the championship. He's too far out to overtake for the lead. But if he can get the win on James Watson, that's another 200 points in the bucket. Every little bit is going to help down the stretch.
These two seem to be working together a little bit more now than they were previously, and I mean, it is showing in the lap times as they've actually increased their lead by about a tenth here.
Yeah, back to 2.1 seconds. But this time, Hill is faster. And the gap is back to 2. Talk about the beach ball a lot in drafting, then NASCAR Next Gen car in particular. There's a big 2-second beach ball between these two packs. Delaware is a small state, but it's got big beach balls. Put that on the t-shirt.
That's a top seller right there.
I could tell.
I mean, Allen is not really all that close to Hill. I mean, if he were able to tuck up, and I mean, they wouldn't be able to push, but tuck up right underneath of Hill, maybe they might be able to make a little bit more speed. But I mean, that just has not been happening basically since they came out of pit road.
The other thing that's going to come into play here momentarily is Watson and Gunter closing in on Kyle Zittel. They'll be able to get a draft off of Zittel, but then they're also going to have to get past him.
Well, Dakota DeMaid said he's tired of sitting behind Kyle Allen. He is going to try and help move this group forward a little bit.
I mean, literally even times between the two groups that time with the changing of the guard. See if they could bring it the other direction. Inside of 25 to go.
I think they're actually losing time. I mean, they are running right on the bottom here, and I don't think that's doing them any favors.
And right as you say that, Watson and Gunter get a little disjointed at the front of the field with Watson pulling back down to the apron and Gunter going to the top side. But again, they're still quicker. 22 laps to go. It's going to take everything that those guys have to get themselves back into the fight for the win. No concern about fuel. Definitely some concerns about tire temperature, as Gunter is going to make it double wide for the top spot. Oh, Watson got the apron there. And Gunter going to pull back up high. Oh, man. Tight quarters. And still, comparatively, it's not really hurting their lap times inning.
Yeah, I mean, this is... they're going to have to take each other out if these other three want a shot at it, I think.
Not out of the question as they nearly lock wheels there.
I would imagine that Gunter down the stretch here is going to be pretty aggressive, trying to squeeze Watson down on the bottom here. That could certainly throw a wrench in things here.
16 laps to go. Worth pointing out, second group now inside of 2 seconds. Keep an eye on them as these two continue to jockey for the lead.
I mean, if they can get just outside of a second when these two really start battling in the last 5-6 laps, I mean, they should be able to make up quite a bit of time once that starts to occur.
But then where do you go? That's the question. Gap's down to 1.8. Gunter's laying back, looking for the run. He's trying to force Watson off the bottom. Watson with a little pump fake there, but Gunter trying to take a run anywhere he can get it.
I mean, that was kind of a surprise dive bomb move there with 14 to go on the board. I like the idea, it just didn't quite pay off, and now Watson a little bit privy to the strategy there from the 0-1.
Gap is still coming down. It's 1.6 seconds now.
Are we going to have another mini Talladega on our hands here?
We might. We very well could. These two are not going to give up the fight with 12 to go. .4 seconds. They are so close to sniffing a draft.
You can see only about a half a straightaway behind right now.
Ten to go. Antsy and Dancy. 1.2 seconds. They are almost there. Can Hill pull it off again, or will Gunter and Watson find a way to coexist here?
I mean, we're inside 10 to go. There's not going to be much coexisting happening here. Gap is just over a second with 7 to go.
If all goes as it has been, they should start to really reel them in this lap, as that was left front to right rear contact between Gunter and Watson. Now Kyle Zittel in front of the leaders. 6 to go, and Hill, DeMaine, and Allen are in draft range.
Oh, this is going to get good. TJ Crampton has tuned in just in time. Good to hear from TJ here as things are starting to heat up.
Yes, they are. 5 laps to go, and that was a personal fastest lap for Christopher Hill last time around. They've got him at 6:10. Oh, boy! That was tight.
I mean, you said it earlier. The question is, when Hill gets here, where can he go with it?
We're about to find out, because he is here. Purple lap for Hill, and he's 2 car lengths back from the battle for the win. 4 laps to go. Gunter now looking for a slingshot. Hill for now looks content to pull behind his team owner.
Oh, Hill looked pretty loose there off of 4.
3 to go. Everybody's getting loose. Two miles left at Dover. Watson at the stripe by a nose. Gunter still fighting on the outside. Will they make it to the white?
Allen stuffs it underneath the DeMade.
Allen looking to take a run to the top side. Here they come to the white. This race is official. Nearly contact between Watson and Gunter. Hill in third, Allen in fourth, DeMade in fifth, looking to clean up.
Oh, contact!
Watson loose.
Oh, more contact!
Oh, Gunter up the track. Watson out of 4. James Watson wins it as Christopher Hill crashes.
Hill crashes.
Wow, Christopher Hill. I was going to say, it looks like he grabbed a gear, but he says over the radio he ran out of fuel.
Well, I mean, he was the first driver to come down pit road on the cycle. That was not expected, though. I mean, there were some drivers there that, I mean, they were able to go to lap 54 or 55 before they came in. A little surprising there.
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get a celebration from James Watson because he wanted to go and look at the contact between he and Brody Gunter. I'll be honest, I don't know if they did actually make some contact. Let's take a look at it, though, before we get too far in the weeds here.
Yeah, let's take a look. This is through turns 3 and 4. We're going to be coming to the white flag here. Cross start finish line. I mean, they are right there. I don't think there was necessarily contact, but Brody's left rear wheel went right in between the right front and the right rear of Watson right there. It's amazing that in these cars, we're actually able to do that these days.
No kidding.
A couple of years ago, that would have been net code and death for everybody. Oh, there's a little bit. Seemed right there. And let's look going into the corner. I mean, it looks to me like they are together right there. Could back it up. Maybe one more. Go to the right front of Watson. I mean, you can see right on the seam. I mean, there is like maybe half an inch of net code. I mean, that's not even, I can't even really call that net code in my opinion. That is just, that's just what happens when you're racing on the internet.
So netcode only by the book.
Yeah, I mean there was
just
no McRib. You could not have fit a McRib in the middle there.
Okay. I said we weren't going to get too far in the weeds, you know.
Well, when we start going by the McRib scale, we've gone too far.
Okay. Well, we'll get some. I guess we'll get to your full finishing rundown here. As it sounds like James Watson. I'm pretty sure he's working a broadcast right now as he's racing, which is really something. But Watson will take his series-tying 8th career victory. It'll be Kyle Allen in second for the second time this season. Brody Gunter, we'll hope to get a word in with him here as well. He will round out the podium. 4th for Dakota DeMade, 5th for Christopher Hill. Paul Ellison will finish in 6th. Corey Rutherford in 7th. Kyle Zittel in 8th. Victor Aldrich and Matt Schlotz are the 10 drivers that took the green flag here this evening. Well, we're going to do something risky, but that's what we're in the business for here in the Daredevil series. We'll hot swap Brody Gunter into booth 200 with the 3rd place finish here tonight. I know that's not what you were looking for at all, but it's still a good result here tonight regardless. But thanks for the time, and welcome back to the booth.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, I guess it was a good result. I mean, I ran the whole race second is what I felt like. Staying at the back of one car's rear wing. Did a great job of doing that. I felt like got down pit road very cleanly. was actually the fastest person since I was like behind James, I think, during the whole pit cycle and came out in front of him. So I did the best, I think, pit cycle, whether it be fuel, pitting in, and pit road. So really proud of myself with that. That was really kind of the only way you could do something, I feel like, racing wise out of this whole race, except minus keeping the foot to the floor and running the bottom line. It made passing on James very difficult because yeah, you can just basically hold that bottom line flat out the whole way around, and the guy on the outside can will almost never beat you, let alone actually clear you and pass you. Especially when you slide up and just give him a little tap into turn 3. But overall, good race, I guess. Had fun.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on the good result here. I wanted to ask you about a move that you made. I think it was with about maybe 13, 14 to go. Looked like you tried to make a surprise dive bomb there on James and tried to get underneath of him. Was that a move that you kind of had in the back pocket that you knew it was going to be a one and done? If it didn't work, then he was going to be kind of ready for the next one, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I think I tried to face the outside because I was like, well, I did the start, but I think it's because I had the help of Hill to get us both clear, and I think Dakota was dropping back. Then I think he just didn't want to be in the front and drop back to last immediately, so that kind of helped us both get clear. So I was hoping that would make it work again. I think it took me like 4 or 5 laps to realize this is not gonna work. This is not gonna be the winning move. It's my only hope is May I can catch him off guard. But the couple of looks I did, yeah, that one you mentioned being probably my best shot, and it's just he just kind of puts it down to the apron. It's either I put on the apron and wreck both of us, or just try the outside again. So I was trying to make the outside work. I actually led a couple laps doing it. Sadly, they weren't the last laps. Even though I think my best attempt yet was going to be the last one, I feel like that's why James knew that and tried to like see if he could shove me up, and I just held my ground and we made contact. So that's just how it went.
Well, I'm glad that we get to talk to you tonight because I didn't get to talk to you last night after the whipping that you put up on the field at Portland. But regardless, great stuff
Yeah,
here tonight.
I saw your pink truck a lot. No offense.
Oof, yeah, no kidding. Anyway, let's get some shout-outs in.
CGI Graphics, Movies Productions. I was trying to think of the team I'm on. There's no team. It's Daredevil. No
Amen.
team. Shout out to myself. Saving it in that last corner and actually coming back for getting a podium. And shout out to you guys, Turn 200, for both putting on this show and broadcasting it. So thank you guys.
Alrighty, partner. Good stuff here tonight. We'll hope to talk to you again next week in Bristol.
All right, hopefully.
Alrighty, well, it'll be like you won the race because he'll be our final interview of the night. Kyle Allen will bring home the runner-up for the second time this season. Tantalizingly close once again, but a good run here tonight regardless. Congrats.
Thanks. Appreciate the race. It was a lot of fun, a lot of patience.
Yeah, this in the grand scheme of things for the Daredevil series, this is an odd one. You can only think of a handful of oval races that we've ever had that. I mean, this was a pack race, kind of, but not in the sense where you could actually kind of make passes. You really had to time them out, and it was basically you and Dakota were the ones that were able to actually sort of, and Matt Schlosser there as well, able to actually like kind of uproot people and move your way forward, it seemed.
Yeah, you could run the high line. You risked burning the fuel. So a lot of savings in mind. I think a lot of people were thinking savings, just kind of hold that bottom. And there's the entry to one. It gets a little loose up there on the high side every once in a while. So yeah, I could see the hesitation. Everyone trying to do so, but if you could kind of pinch them down closer to the bottom, you could get that run going onto the front stretch or back stretch.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a good run here tonight, a good finish. Wanted to ask you about, you guys are closing in on the leaders. The three of you are there with just about 5 laps to go. You're at the tail of that group. As you're getting closer and inching forward, is there any sort of a game plan that you're coming up with once you reach those 2 leaders, or are you just kind of trying to see how the chips fall and then make a split decision from there?
Yeah, so I guess I must have had a poor pit stop again. just in general, I took only 2 extra laps of fuel, and I was saving pretty much the whole time, just trying to hang on, save a little bit, try to make sure I had enough fuel to be able to race there at the end. So really, from what I saw, I think we were lucky to get back up to the front, and catch the leaders. And my plan was that 2 laps out to that was the go. It should have probably been 3 laps out. Kind of a note for next 1 mile ovals, but just kind of plan the fuel out, save for just a little bit longer, and yeah, I think I went everything went to plan except the win. So maybe one day, but if not, it's been a lot of fun. So it's good.
I mean, you're definitely right there. So, I mean, the 2 seconds into your first season with the Daredevil series is certainly a promising start. I think we'll get you that one better here soon. But in the meantime, let's get some shout-outs in once again before we let you go.
Yeah, first shout out being my wife. She lets me do this. My son as well. They're both supportive in letting me do this on the week. It's much appreciated. Benke Media for the Vision Racing, as well as Pokehex. Always great to drive for everybody, and glad to bring it home in P2.
Absolutely, partner. And if nothing else, we got you in and out of here pretty quick tonight. 35 minutes, 26 seconds was the official time on the board. So go enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night, and we'll hope to talk to you again next week.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Hey, nice when my predictions go spot on, because I was predicting chaos and calamity on the pit stops. We saw a little, but not a lot. But I was bang on with 35 minutes at the start of this broadcast. 26 seconds off. I'll take that all day and twice on Wednesday. How about that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, drivers, for the most part, everybody did a pretty good job of getting down on the pit road. I mean, that was definitely the big question mark, I think, coming into the night. And then the pack style racing, yeah, it was tough, really tough to make passes. But, I mean, there were passes being made and moves being set up. They just didn't all work out as they would have planned and hoped. But, that's racing. So, thanks to all the drivers that came out tonight. Hope that they had fun. It seemed like at least our podium finishers had a good time. I don't know about everybody else. And shout out to a couple of folks that were in the chat with us here tonight. Good to hear from TJ Crampton. Really looking forward to, sounds like maybe April of 2026. Be back in the field. That would be pretty nice to have you back. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. And, of course, shout out to Hunter Leach for being in the chat here tonight as well. Hopefully we'll be talking to you here before too long outside of the broadcast. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. And you guys have a regular season finale tomorrow night with Tommy Cook.
Yes, indeed we do. I do want to say to TJ Crampton, though, that's very good timing, because Season 7 of the Daredevil series will be back in April of 2026. So there you go. We'll look forward to seeing TJ there. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow night for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series regular season finale from Richmond. There's a lot of spots up for grabs tomorrow. Nothing is set in stone. It's going to be a wild night at the short track. We'll hope to catch you there at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time for the Twisted Designs 100. Then, Tuesday night, the Venom Truck Series will be back in action from Kansas. We'll see you there at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And then it is the good old Bristol Bash next Wednesday night. For the second time in series history, we are at the last great Coliseum. We'll see you there at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time for a little short track heat race at action. That's all we got for you here tonight. Thank you very much to the drivers. Thank you to Mr. Matt Williamson as well. Thanks to everybody that was watching along with us at home here this evening. Until we meet again from Dover Motor Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long and congratulations. James Watson on his 3rd win of the season, the 8th of his career in the Daredevil series. Have a good night, everybody.